Take me back to the city that I call my city, where everybody knows my name. Take me back to the people that I call my people, yeah. I'm a long, long way from my city, my city. From my city, my city. Take me back to the city that I call my city, where everybody knows my name. Take me back to the people that I call my people, yeah. I'm a long, long way from my city, my city. From my city, my city. Me back to the city that I call my city, where everybody knows my name. Take me back to the people that I call.
Hey,
Hello, Bob. How are you?
okay, I'm not hearing you. Just a
Oh,
sec.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Is it working?
Yes, I can hear
Nah.
you.
Okay. Let me work on this just a sec. Let's see what it is. Um, okay, let's try this.
Okay.
Ah,
Can you hear me?
here we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Normally I wear headphones and I'm not wearing them today,
Uh,
and that may be it.
uh, I find Zoom very temperamental, actually.
I do too, and they keep changing it, and I wish they'd
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let me just turn off my phone. I don't turn it off till we're on. How are you? Your afternoon, right?
Oh no, I'm in the morning.
Oh, you
I'm
are.
in New York. Yeah, so it's 10
Oh, okay.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you located?
I'm in Denver. So
Oh,
I'm two
Denver. Okay.
hours
Oh wow.
behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So
I flew.
you've gone through the daylight savings thing too,
Yeah, that's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Messes up, doesn't it?
It does.
I know.
Yeah, I was in Denver. Well, I went through Denver airport about 3 months ago, actually, for the first time. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like its own world out there, its own city.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
I know. Every time I go into it, it's like I've never been there before.
Oh,
They
really?
just keep doing things. Yeah. It's weird. Let
Mm,
me just check this. So the time of your book is perfect.
you with the chaos?
Chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know.
yeah, yeah. A few people have said that actually.
Oh
I think it
God. Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Um, and I just saw it come in yesterday, so I haven't read a whole lot.
No worries. We'll
But the
muddle through.
creativity part, I'm with you. It's
Oh,
like, oh,
good.
what's going to happen to us? These kids have
Yeah,
no
yeah,
creativity. Well,
yeah.
everything's a play date or everything's arranged,
That's right. Yeah,
so it's like, oh. But they're now in their 30s, I'd say, and new things keep coming out. So,
yeah.
I might be wrong on that, hopefully. Okay, I think we're set. Good morning.
Great. Good morning.
I know. It does mess me around, the time change.
Yeah,
Mm. Where are you in New York, Manhattan?
I'm in Astoria, which is about a few
Oh, I
miles
know
just
it. I
outside.
grew up
Yeah.
in that area.
Oh, did you?
Uh-huh.
That's changed.
I tell people New York on the Jersey side because I don't get it otherwise. So it's New York on the Jersey side.
Yeah.
And I actually go back all the time. You know what
Oh,
I
really? Yeah.
did recently that, because I worked there, half my life was spent there. Um, and something I did, my sisters and I, on spur of the moment to entertain ourselves, we decided to take an architectural tour and
Oh,
on a boat going around Manhattan. And we're
yeah.
thinking, a way to throw away our money because we worked in most of these buildings. What are you going to tell
Right.
us? It
Yeah.
was fabulous. If you
Oh,
get a
good.
chance, do it. It's about
Yeah.
$100.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a couple hours. You'll spend as much on there getting drinks and all.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
but it was a fabulous tour.
Nice.
Amazing. And
Great.
we grew up there, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know a story. A Queens is the new in place.
Yeah, that's right. It
I
is.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
which means the prices are up.
That's right.
I know. Okay, so let's start here. Let me get a little grounded. Hi, this is Barb Crowley, and welcome to Metaphysics of Youth of the Veil. Today, we're talking to Angel Miller, and he has written a book which is perfect for right now, Transcend the Chaos. And this provides a unique working model for navigating our world today using the 6 C's: connection, creativity, craft, culture, character, and consciousness. We've just covered it all, right?
Mhm.
Angel was born and raised in England, where he studied fine art and fashion, and is a well respected hypnotist, martial artist, and lecturer on personal growth, archetypical patterns of behavior, and spirituality. So, Angel, welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to be here.
Great. So, how do you start? There's so much in there. I
Yeah.
didn't quite know where to start. We talked a little bit before we came on creativity and the lack
That's
of,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure where you want to start here. You actually start with connection.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
we can. So I go through a lot of different things in the book. That's really focused in the last chapter, although it kind of sums up what I talk about in the
Right.
book. But yeah, well, maybe let's talk about creativity and chaos because certainly we're in chaos right
I know.
now.
Chaos we know well. Creativity we're lagging.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is I think a loss, but I
It
do
is.
remember when
Yeah.
kids would go out and just on their own in a stick, and are
Yes.
good for hours. And now everything's scheduled and arranged and
Yeah.
has a plan. And I
That's right.
worry about that. But as I
Yes.
said, you talked about losing creativity in the 90s. There was a big drop in
That's
create.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so creativity has been measured in America for about 50 or 60 years, and it was going up for the first few decades, and then around the 90s it started going down. And
yeah,
some people would say, well, how do you measure creativity? And well, there are ways, and the two different measures. One is diversion, and one is a conversion tests. So conversion, you converge on the correct answer, and then diversion tests, you give as many answers as possible that could be right. So if I say to you, what can you do with a pencil? That's a conversion test where you could say, well, I can draw a picture, or I could mark my child's height on the wall, or I could
mhm,
I could cut it up and I could make it into a little model of to float on the water or something like that. So there's potentially there's an infinite number of answers in a divergence test. So that's how you
mhm.
test creativity, who can come up with these different ideas. And it wasn't noticed originally. It was actually tested in England, and originally it showed that people who were very intellectually clever, who would get the right answers on tests, will actually prove to be slightly worse a divergence test. They couldn't understand the notion of doing lots of different things with one
Right.
thing. But creativity is important. We tend to think of creativity as being related to art and design, which I studied, but it has a
Hmm.
much bigger impact than that. And children who score high on creativity tests or have high CQ, as it's called, that's a much better prediction than IQ of who's going to end up being a lawyer or a doctor or an
Yeah.
author or a fashion designer or basically the people who shape society for better or worse. So if
Mhm.
creativity is going down, we're going to have less of that. We're going to have fewer doctors and lawyers and fewer good authors and movie makers or fashion designers or whatever it may be.
Right. Well, doctors and lawyers, I put them in the black and white world, not in the creative world.
Well, yes, yeah, I mean, maybe, but I mean, I do talk a little bit about language and the use and possibly the misuse of language in political campaigns and even
Yeah.
in law, and a catchy slogan can sway someone in a legal case as much more than the evidence
True.
potentially. So
True. Yeah. We
yeah,
do go
so
with entertainment.
that's right, and that's not
I
just
know.
Americans, everyone. So.
What does this mean for us as a species? The lack of creativity. What's happening? What
Yeah.
will happen without that?
Well, that's a good question. I think America tries to get over that by importing people from other countries.
Yeah.
So,
Until
Silicon Valley.
recently, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The H-1B visa issue has
Right.
will put a
Right.
stop to a lot of that. That is true.
Hmm.
But I mean, I grew up in England and I came here on visas. I'm an American citizen now, but
Right.
not to defend that because I think it's more ambiguous and should you cut that off or should you cultivate it? But it is kind of known that among immigration lawyers that H-1Bs are a way of underpaying people that you bring here. You get cheaper labor. So
H-1B,
yeah.
you'll have to explain it to me. H-1B is the visa, the working visa?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And technically, this isn't in my book, but technically, an American company would need to prove or demonstrate to some degree that they couldn't find an American to take that position. But if you speak to immigration lawyers, it's kind of an open secret that everybody knows that they run an ad and then they don't interview people or they say no thanks very much and then they hire someone from abroad very
Right.
often anyway, not in all cases, but very often. So
Yeah, at a
so
lower price, you
that's
think?
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, for
Well, that's
sure.
what they
Yeah.
do with women.
Yeah,
You
there is
know?
that as well. Yeah,
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 that's a
yeah,
woman thing too. But,
yeah.
it gets you in there. So that's the other
Yes,
side of it. It gives you the opportunity, you know.
of course. Yeah,
And I
yeah,
would think too, the person who is picked up from their home and traveled and moved their life is going
yeah.
to be more open and more creative than the
That's
person
right.
who's been here and gotten comfortable and just gone along.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, I actually do talk a little bit about that as well. And a study of 3,000 executives, 3,000 plus executives, it showed actually that if a CEO has 1 year abroad before becoming a CEO, that they perform an increased profits by about 7% more than their
Wow.
rivals. So, and you can see why. And again, I'm an immigrant to your land, but
Mhm.
and, as someone who was on visas for a very long time, I can tell you that yeah, there are things about being an immigrant that are horrible but very beneficial. And one is, of course, getting comfortable with risk. If you're on a visa here, you can be deported really at any time because your employer can say, sorry, but we're just terminating your position, and that means it doesn't mean oh you have to look for another job. It means now you have to leave the country because your
Yeah.
visa is tied to that position. So every day there's risk and uncertainty, and that might go on for me, it went on for about 15 years. So, getting used to
Wow.
risk,
I never thought of
then
that
yeah.
as being
So,
there.
so
Yeah.
that's it. So you just become used to risk after a while, and then contrasting different societies. I mean, England and America are very similar in many respects, but they're also very different in some respects. So you can kind of pick the best of both and
Hmm.
leave what's worse. So, this understanding of different cultures, obviously starting your life over, having to meet all new people and having no support, these kind of things
I can't
prepare you.
imagine.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine that. I mean, I
It's
went
it
from New York to Denver, and that's
right.
big. Although
Yeah.
I actually did study in England about 50 years ago.
Ah, well, there you go. We still
So
did it.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
long time. And I still talk to friends that I met there.
Ah,
We're still
great.
in
Good.
touch.
Good.
Yeah, which is pretty
Excellent.
amazing. Yeah.
It
And they're
is.
now in Australia. Everybody booked.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody went different places.
yeah.
Yeah. But why is it so important um, to survive chaos? Creativity and chaos
Yeah.
always, in my mind, go together because
Yes, they can. That's right.
chaos is blowing things up, and so is
Yeah.
creativity.
Yes.
So I put
Yes.
those two together. But is that where
Yes.
you're at on it?
Well, yes. I think that, creativity is that is true. When some new invention comes along, it blows everything up.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think also, the creative mind it kind of picks things and puts things together in strange ways. So it kind of needs this chaos. So you can take something from art, something from business, something from music, something from physics, whatever it may be, and then this strange amalgamation creates something new. So the chaos is an opportunity for creative thinkers for sure.
Hmm. And you came out, you're a fashion designer. Do
I
I have
was,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then made the move to hypnotist, to lecturer, to I mean, that's quite the move. It was that when
Yes.
you came to the US? Is
Well,
that,
I still work in design, but
oh, do you?
yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate the chaos of lots of different things. But I studied fashion design at St. Martin's College, which is kind of the world's Harvard of fashion. And
Hmm.
when I was there, we would hang out with Alexander McQueen and some other people I know became really quite well known, such as Phoebe Philo, who was always really talented.
Yeah.
So, it was just great to be around these really interesting people. But then, yeah, and I came here. I worked in textiles. I worked for a fashion designer in England for a while, but then, I also have sort of migrated into other areas, working with people one on one or writing books,
Hmm.
hypnosis. So yeah.
How did that happen? That's kind of a weird transition. How did
Yeah,
that happen?
yes, yes. Well, I studied hypnosis actually with a friend of mine, and rather like whenever someone tells you that they are a hypnotist, you can't help but ask, how in the world do you become a hypnotist?
How did that
And
happen? Yeah.
yes, that's right. And so I did, and he said, well, he's teaching a course on hypnotism, which was certified by the National Guild of Hypnotists in America. And so I took that course, which was a really fascinating experience, actually,
Hmm.
and not really what you would think of when you think of a course, sitting at a desk doing something. We were in a small but very comfortable office, putting each other into hypnosis all day long and then talking about it. I mean, I've never been so relaxed in my life.
Was that in England or was that here?
That was here, yeah,
Yeah.
in Manhattan. We did that, yeah, which
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
pretty fascinating, yeah.
That is. I've always been
Yeah.
fascinated by that and where you can go with that. And then, the planting memories and false memories. I'm amazed by that.
Yeah, I
You
haven't
know?
done that.
Yeah.
I hasten to add, but yeah, of course there are dangers, and that has happened. So
Yeah.
I think you have to be careful about what you're doing.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And who you're doing it with. I mean,
that's
there are
right.
some people
Yeah,
that, they become unstable.
yeah.
That
You have to be
you've
careful
hit a
about that for
point
sure.
of, oh my
Yeah,
God, somehow we just broke the foundation here.
yeah,
Yeah, a little frightening.
yeah. That's right. That's why I personally wouldn't work with anyone with any sort of mental issues, and I don't use it as a therapy. I use it for gaining confidence or stress management. I mean, it's ideal for stress management because
Right.
it's so relaxing. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The only time I've done it was trying to quit smoking.
Oh
And I
yeah.
have to admit, I'd leave and light one up right away.
Really?
It was
That's
like,
not good.
this isn't working.
Yeah.
But eventually I did quit smoking, but
Good.
so something worked. Um, so you talk about self-confidence, and that's a
Mm,
big part of
yeah.
of your book, of some of your C's, right?
Right. Yes. Well, yes, confidence definitely matters. I do talk about why St. Martin's College produces so many top designers. At London Fashion Week, which is the equivalent of New York Fashion Week, of course,
Mhm.
roughly half of the designers studied at St. Martin's, but there's actually about 300 fashion courses in England. So it shouldn't be overrepresentative to that point, but it is. And I look at why that is and the teaching, and part of it, of course, is that you, unlike most other colleges, you're told that, well, why you need to pursue what's of real interest to you, so that you end up doing something that's totally unique, rather than, oh, you need to, do this how we're showing you. So there is a cultivation of this uniqueness of the individual, but there's also another element which I think is less talked about, and that is the sort of public humiliation of students, where you work on a project for a month and then you really don't know, and it does happen that maybe you'll be critiqued in front of all of your classmates, and the critiquing can be absolutely brutal.
Oh,
So,
geez.
you can feel destroyed by the end of it. And it's not sadism. The point is that, if you go out into the world and you become anything of a public face, whether it's a fashion designer or an artist or a musician or an author, you have to expect that the media and other people are going to, rip you to shreds at some
Right.
point. And it might not even be fair. Maybe you did great work, but they've just decided now's the time to rip you to shreds because they've talked you up, and now it's time to drag you down. So you have to get used to that and just let it go over you like it's nothing.
So they create a thick skin for you
Yeah,
to go out into the world with.
that's right.
So you're confident to create. You're
That's it.
free
That's
to
it.
create. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And so, if the media does trash you, you don't care, because who are they? What have they
Right.
produced? So you just ignore it.
Yeah.
But, and I think maybe this is possibly one of the reasons why creativity is in decline, because there's a lot more concern about people's feelings, and we mustn't upset anyone. But you can't be in the public eye and not be upset. People are going to attack you, whether it's
Right.
fair or not fair. So,
I don't
you
see a
know.
lot of kindness out there.
No, it's terrible.
It's unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
can say the most basic neutral thing, and you'll have
that's
people
right.
attacking you on it. It's
Definitely.
it's there's a sickness out there.
There
I
is. That's
know.
right.
It's really
Yeah,
frightening. Yeah.
yeah.
And you think that might be part of what is breaking creativity?
Well, I think it could be part of it for sure. I mean, that seems to be a more recent phenomenon, but it
Hmm.
it it definitely is not good if for example, I won't name the program, but there's a program that writers can use, and to check their grammar and all this kind of, and spelling
Hmm.
and whatnot, which is
Right.
fine. But the adverts a few months ago for it were, that you will feel safe to write. And I think,
Uh,
you know, as a writer,
yeah.
you don't want to feel safe. You want to say something that's actually a little bit dangerous. And the same with,
Yeah.
fashion design or art or whatever. If you're saying things that are safe, then
You've lost it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should just get a
Yeah.
job and do that.
Right.
That's fine. That's not a problem. But,
Right.
the arts have always been dangerous. They've always said things that are, going to open you up to criticism and attack, because you're
Hmm.
trying to push something on a little bit, or expose, hypocrisy or lies in society. So,
Right.
but everything now is about, well, we're making you feel safe to express yourself. Well, you should you shouldn't feel safe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you've got to strip away to be creative. You've got,
That's right.
other than
Yeah.
that, you're imitating somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, how does creativity help us with the chaos?
Yeah. Well, I think creativity is what makes sense of chaos, and chaos is potentially very, very destructive for many,
Mhm.
many people. But for certain people, people who can think creatively and think outside the box and think
Right.
differently, potentially it's an opportunity for those kinds of people. And it's better that we are that kind of person than the kind of person who's going to be dragged down by it.
Mm.
So yeah. But I in Transcend the Chaos, I begin with chaos, and I look at
No, we just froze. Oops. Are you there? Huh. I've lost you. I don't know if you can hear me or not.